Family, good morning to the world. Good morning to Trinidad and Tobago. And we are coming to you live from Tobago Updates Network Television. You are viewing Brunch, a taste of Tobago. I am your host, J.W. Moore, also known as J Soul, and I want to spend some time with you today. I hope that's okay. I hope you're inviting me into your homes, and I'm hoping that we can put a smile on someone's face today. You may have awoken just a bit heavy, just a bit sad, just a bit out of sorts, and we're hoping that we can help to break that heaviness. We can help to uplift you and enlighten you. Remember, you are viewing Brunch, a Taste of Tobago. We are live on the Amplia Network 102. YouTube, and of course, Facebook. And we seek to really educate, we seek to inform, we seek to uplift, we seek to inspire, and we seek to just highlight the positives that our sons and daughters are doing in this space and impacting the world positively. For those of you who are joining us for the first time, we thank you. Thank you for inviting us. And I want to say to my kings and queens today, you are special and you are fearfully and wonderfully made. And let me add, no one can make you feel inferior unless they are invited to do so. So take that as you go through the day, and remember, you can do anything that you set your mind to. I have a feeling that someone needed to hear that today, and so I'm putting it out there. So let's get to our first segment, which is the good stuff segment. And of course, we seek to inform and let you know that we are doing wonderful things, that we are positive, we are talented, and we are very, very immensely creative and intelligent. And so the good stuff segment seeks to highlight those men and women, those boys and girls who are impacting humanity positively. And so I take you through the news day, the story of Natalie Thomas. Natalie Thomas creates soapy Christmas designs. In the midst of the festive buzz of the Christmas season, the demand for intricately crafted soaps designed by Natalie Thomas has surged as people snap up her Christmas collection. Thomas's handmade soaps each represents a bar of creativity, from delicate Christmas trees, vibrant poinsettias, pine cones, and intricate snowflakes that capture the essence of the holiday season, to shells, roses, cakes, chocolates, and ice cream cones with their lifelike appearance, tempting the senses. Whimsical bits of glitter add a festive sparkle, and so too the vibrant swirls of color. Yes, 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 I'm loving it. I gotta get me some of those soaps. Guardian, the Trinidad Guardian, is next, and we are revolutionizing treatment, offering hope. In recent years, a groundbreaking medical technology has emerged as a beacon of hope for patients grappling with thyroid nodules, fibroids, cancer, and varicose veins, and other similar problems. Radio frequency ablation has gained significant traction as a minimally invasive procedure, proving to be a game changer in the realm of medical treatments. This innovative approach has been making waves due to its effectiveness, safety, and potential to improve the quality of life for millions of individuals worldwide. Oh, yes, we have been waiting, and we want to say thank you for our minds. Thank you for our intelligence. Thank you for our research and really delving in to making our human beings well. And so you guys need to check this out. Daily Express. Rudder's Bahia Girl inspires novella. Like many around the world, Carolyn Ali has a deep love for David Rudder's hit calypso Bahia Girl, which prompted the retired teacher to publish her debut novella of the same name. Speaking via telephone interview with the Express last Friday, Ali shared, "I was always fascinated by Rudder's Bahia Girl. I saw a documentary with David Rudder in Brazil, and he was singing the song. I was amazed to see how the Brazilians joined in, singing this calypso with him with such vigor and verve. They really enjoyed it. I was seeing Bahia Girl through the eyes of another country." So we need to really check out our newspaper articles today. The Daily Express, the Trinidad Guardian, and the Newsday brings it to us so live, so direct, and we get a chance to really highlight the positives in our society. And that's a wonderful thing. It's a beautiful place to be. And of course, just a bit about what's happening today. The persons that are going to be gracing the brunch set. This is something that I really want to touch on. It's going to be a really interesting type of conversation today. So before I go to a break, I am going to have the privilege of welcoming Dr. Faith B. Israel to the set. I can't wait to have that discussion about health and eating at Christmas, the do's, the don'ts, the pros, the cons. I can't wait for her to be here. Also, my very good friend, my brother from another mother, Mr. Michael Stewart, is back. He is like a staple of the brunch set. There is always something, some form of information to be shared. And of course, Wednesday on the brunch morning set is such a wonderful array of talent and creativity and conversation. And of course, our book club segment is up also. Jewel Green George joins us, and we are going to have the chance to look into our literary space, look into those men and women of the soil who are accomplished, who are making their mark in the writing world, in the literary space. And that's just a few of the wonderful people that are going to be gracing me. As I go along, I'm going to let you in on everything and anything that's happening, and you have to stay with us. You have to be a part of what's going on. So here's what I'm going to do. Promise me that you're going to come back. Promise me that you're going to be a part of Brunch, a Taste of Tobago today. Promise me that something is going to resonate with you and you feel a bit lighter. So I'm going to take a break. I'm going to let you guys get ready, and we're going to come back with more Brunch, a Taste of Tobago. See you guys soon.
This Christmas we celebrating, cause B-Mobile they coming with rating. So brace yourself for plenty prices, cause this season will be the nice. It's the most deals and the most vibes and the most cars and the most price. The most giveaways, the most para. Having a Christmas season with B-Mobile. I want a Christmas season with B-Mobile. Bring me sorry, let me toast to a Merry Christmas. Having a Christmas season with B-Mobile.
Top up, buy a plan, sign up or pay your bills. Enjoy the best Tobago Christmas. B-Mobile. Life is on.
Trinbagonians abroad support the homeland in diverse ways. Watch exemplars of patriotism and gain insights into the giving back as practiced by the TT diaspora in Tobago, spanning the period 1960s to early 2000. Produced and directed by Dr. Andre Phillips, this groundbreaking documentary is a credit to the feel-good psyche at Christmas and beyond.
Don't be fearful or ignorant about diseases. The opportunity to learn how to effectively work with or even reverse sicknesses is here. Do you know someone that is suffering from an illness? You are invited to come and learn in this in-depth, hands-on training program. Call this number and reserve your space in this God-inspired, hands-on medical missionary training program going on in Tobago. See you there.
Welcome back to Brunch, A Taste of Tobago. So I'm hoping that you guys are ready because we have so much going on today and I don't want you to miss anything. I want you to be able to take something positive away with you after viewing this program. Of course, my first guest, I'm so privileged, I'm so honored. I feel like she's becoming such a staple to this show. It's always a wonderful conversation when she's here. And so my first guest, Secretary for the Division of Health, Wellness and Social Protection, Dr. Faith B. Yisrael, is here with me. Good morning to you, Dr. Faith.
Good morning, good morning. Thanks for having me. Merry Christmas in advance.
Thank you so much, and same to you. And you know, one of the things that is always a buzz, what are we eating? What are we putting into our bodies? And how much of it? Because for me, you see that bread and that ham? I have to get my bread and ham. But am I doing the right thing when it comes to the quantity and how much of it I'm consuming? So we're just gonna delve in, what are some of the challenges that we face, especially around the Christmas season?
Certainly. Well, when it comes to what we eat generally, many of us have those same questions. How much
Mhm.
should we be eating? How often we should be eating, and so forth. But when you add Christmas, and let's not even say Christmas, when you add a Caribbean Christmas to that mix, a lot of us get into trouble. And let me go back a little bit. Um, one of the things, as Secretary of Health, Wellness and Social Protection, one of the things I see all the time is the fact that we have really high rates of what we call non-communicable diseases, meaning diseases that you don't get from one person passing it on to another, but it's a disease that you get from a lifestyle or a disease that you get from hereditary in some cases. And those are things like diabetes, sugar, high blood pressure, high rates of heart disease, and so forth. And those are the diseases that are causing most harm in Trinidad and Tobago. And guess what? Those are the diseases that we can control to some degree by what we eat, which is why we need to be really, really careful, particularly around Christmas time when you have the sorrel and you have the black cake and you have the ham
Mhm.
and and you have the pastel and you have everything and you have the pork and the this and the that. We need to be even more careful around this time so that we don't overdo it, because what we don't want is to have a merry, merry, merry Christmas and then January 1 meet you in the hospital.
But generally, Dr. Faith, because I'm not even touching on Christmas as yet, generally, where are we with regards to our nutrition? Because we love the carbs. I can't seem to stay away from the carbs, and that is sometimes to my detriment. So, where are we with regards to our nutrition, eating healthily? What is the conversation like?
So I think one of the things we need to be careful of is to try to be too rigid when it comes to our diet. Um, because what we tend to do is go to extremes. So we do the extreme, we're trying to get rid of all breads or all carbs, or we
Right.
do the extreme, we're trying to get rid of all sugars, or we do the extreme, we're trying to get rid of all meats. And then when we realize, what happens is you may be able to do that for a short time, but and after a while you fall back into your normal habits. So what we are encouraging people to do really is to look at what you eat and eat it in moderation. So you're not trying to do any extreme kind of diet as we may think about it, but be conscious of what you're eating, when you're eating it, and how much you're eating it, and allow your body to actually tell you, um, stop, because our bodies actually tell us when to stop. If we listen to our gut, if we listen to our head, if we listen to even what's happening in our mouth, it actually tells you, hey, I'm already full, or hey, I actually am thirsty and I'm not really hungry, but because I don't know the difference, I think I need food versus water. Our body tells us those things. So we really encourage people to eat a wide variety of the foods. Don't try to limit yourself in terms of being too rigid or too extreme, because those types of regimens usually don't last very long. And when you get off of them, unfortunately, you go back and you tend to eat even worse than you were doing before you jumped into one of those diets.
I was just about to mention that because there have been so many instances where we get into, okay, I'm gonna change this. I'm gonna eat healthier. And Dr. Fate, we throw away everything. We throw away all the things that we are accustomed eating. And then we come back, and then the time comes when you have to, because the meal prep, that is like a whole other vibe right there. So you have to get into meal prep, getting to the market, getting the veggies, getting this, getting that. And then the meal prep comes and it's so time consuming.
Exhausting. It,
Yes.
and that what you've highlighted is the fact that we need to make our healthy eating a part of our life that does not cause us uh additional fatigue.
Fatigue
That is
and
the
stress.
fatigue and stress, exactly. Because if something is causing additional fatigue or additional stress, we're not going to do it for very long. And what we want are incremental changes that we can sustain over a lifetime, not something that you have that stresses you out. Because if it's stressing you out, you're not going to do it after a while. And that's why we're encouraging you. So if you we all want the ham and bread Christmas morning. Nothing wrong with eating the ham and bread Christmas morning, but you eat your one slice of bread and a little bit of the ham, and you know that you're not eating the whole ham Christmas Day, or you're not eating the whole black cake Christmas Day. But if you are diabetic, for example, and you know that you really, really, really want that piece of black cake, you know that you're going to take a little sliver of it, you're going to eat it, but know that you also cannot eat the black cake with the sorrel, with the morby, with the bus, with the smalter. You can't do all of it if you know you're going to eat the little piece of black cake because of how much sugar that entails. And when we
Mm-hmm.
think like that, we're able to manage, we're able to regulate ourselves a little bit better. And that is a long time thing. I do not ever encourage people to cut out things completely unless a doctor is telling you, this is really, really causing significant harm and you really, really need to stop eat this particular thing. Because that is what causes the kind of stress. We think about it, oh my God, I can't eat the pork, I can't eat the pork, I can't eat the pork. And then you
Mm-hmm.
find yourself stressed about not being able to eat the pork. And then that causes more harm than anything else. So when you need to reduce, think about it as a reduction, and this is something you can maintain.
And one of the things that is so, it's kind of in my face because a lot of people tend to stress eat. They eat because, oh, I'm so tired, oh, I'm so overwhelmed. And the stress eating comes in. And then we start binging and we sitting with the whole platter with all of the snacks and all the cake and the cookies and all these things. And that is something that I think everybody could attest to having an experience where they would have been binging. What are some of the dangers of stress eating? Because I see that on the rise. What are some of the dangers, Dr. Faith, of stress eating?
Certainly, and it is something that even I experience. This
Right.
The first thing you need to know about stress eating is being able to recognize when it happens. So I'll give you a personal example. My food of choice is Ben and Jerry's Cherry Garcia. I'm sure if you follow me on Facebook, you've seen me posting where can I find Ben and Jerry's Cherry Garcia. And when I am stress eating, I physically feel myself not being hungry, but it is the sensation of the food going into my mouth that calms me down. Now, I start there because it's critical for us to recognize what it looks like in each of us. We now need to think, okay, what is causing me to stress eat? What is the thing that I am thinking about? Or what is the thing I'm ruminating about? Or what is the thing that happened today that made me feel so bad that I need the Ben and Jerry's? And then go back to trying to figure out how we can treat with those things. And when I am having those conversations in my head, at the point, I can then snap myself out of it because I'm thinking, okay, I know what I'm doing. I know that I'm going to just take this one last spoon and I'm going to enjoy this one last spoon. But I will go back to journaling, or I'll go back to writing about what is the thing that is causing me to feel this way. Because, of course, anything that you do too much of is not a good thing. And if that is eating, if that is sleeping, if that is drinking alcohol, whatever it is, and that is what stress eating is, eating too much of that particular thing when it no longer serves a nutritional value, but you're doing it for a mental health or an emotional value is why you're doing it. So we need to recognize what that looks like in each of us and figure out what are the things that are the triggers to the stress eating.
And one of the things eating, because I've seen it done so many times, one person is going to come with a huge plate with all of the fixings, and then you have another who is coming in at different intervals with a little saucer with just a little bit of everything, but they're doing it at certain intervals. So it's not just one plate with a big meal. Does this affect our digestion immensely, or is it just a lifestyle choice and habit? Your
Right.
thoughts?
So it does affect how our body uses the nutrients that you gain from eating. And what do I mean by that? When we eat smaller chunks of food,
Mm-hmm.
as in the saucer versus the big plate kind of thing, you allow your body to go through the process of ingesting it, breaking it down, sending those nutrients into your muscles, your blood, wherever. And then it allows your body to use it up at that time. If we eat large volumes of food, though, our body is not able to use it up, meaning to metabolize it in a short space of time. So, what our body does is holds onto it, stores it, and we store it in the form of fat. It's one of the easiest ways to store the additional nutrients or the additional bits of energy that our body just took in while we were eating. And that is why we recommend that instead of having, one big meal a day or two big meals a day, we break it up into at least, five smaller meals. So, after you've eaten that meal, whatever you've gotten into your system from that meal, you're going to use it up. And by the time you have your next meal, you're going to use up that information, which does not allow your body time to store any of the fat or store any of those things that will cause us to gain weight and that will cause us to have to deal with the diabetes and so forth later down. So it is a critical piece of how your body is able to use the energy that the food you are eating how your body is able to use that energy immediately versus storing it up for future use.
And you touched on so many things in that short space of time because I know so many people had these questions buzzing about in their minds for some time now. Am I doing the right thing for my body or am I not doing the right thing, as the case might be? But we're going to take a break, Dr. Faith. Don't go anywhere because I still want to talk to you because we have to speak on eating at Christmas. We have to be mindful of how we do things. And I'm going to come back. We're going to take a break. come back with more from Dr. Faith B. Israel. You are viewing Brunch, A Taste of Tobago, and we will be right back.
The best place to stay in Tobago is at Thorn's Place, with rates starting as low as 200 TT. Call or WhatsApp 745-7306 or 682-8676. We are located uptown Scarborough, 5 minutes away from the port. Remember, at Thorn's Place, our aim is to make your stay safe and affordable.
Rotisserie, mouth-watering fries, salads, combos, and specials galore. Feeling for something to eat? Come and see. Our rotisserie is seasoned to the T. Kicking chicken, masala, and jerk roast. Crispy fries made from scratch. Who do you know can beat that? Or salads freshly cut and packed. When you taste it, you'll be wanting to come back. So come check us out on number 2 Robinson Street, Uptown Scarborough, Tobago. We open on Saturday nights from 7:30 to 11:30 p.m. Monday to Thursday, we're open from 10 a.m. to 9:30 p.m. and on Friday, 10 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. Contact us at 772-7443 and all social media handles at The Rotisserie Factory.
Light up the Christmas with the best fiber. Surfboard channel switch to Amplia. Thousands in prizes, plenty smart TVs. 1 year free service and free groceries. We surfing with Amplia. We winning with Amplia. We binging with Amplia. We winning with Amplia. Sign up now for 50% off plus a chance to win over $100,000 in prizes. Call 800-4663.
So your car break down
Oh, no, not again.
and you're worried paying a wrecker could mean a pocket breakdown too. But when you're insured with Tatil, no stress.
Yes!
A Tatil motor policy has lots of benefits that protect your pocket, like free roadside assistance. That's free 24/7 every time, as many times as you need. Tatil, where people are people. A member of the Ansa McCall Group.
We are back with Brunch, A Taste of Tobago. And the discussion is so informative. I'm having such a wonderful time. Dr. Faith B. Israel has taken the time to have this wonderful discussion with me. And I'm so happy. I'm always happy when you're around Dr. Faith because you bring such, eloquence and elegance. And it's so informative and it's so interesting. So it's the balance is there. So we're getting the information, but we're not bored, or we don't want to go change the channel. And that's a wonderful thing. So welcome back to Brunch. And we were talking about Christmas, the Christmas season, and managing our eating habits. And I say it, and it sounds so basic, it sounds so easy to do. In truth and in fact, it is not. What are some of the challenges we face when it comes to our nutrition at Christmas time?
So let's be honest about why it's difficult at Christmas. The foods that we eat are foods that bring us, they trigger off something in our head that causes us to feel joy. So what are we talking about? The sweet things, sugar. Sugar literally causes us to have sensations in our head that replicate pure satisfaction and pure joy. What do we eat for Christmas? the sugar cake, the cake, black cake, the regular cake, all of the drinks, the sorrel, the punch or creme, all of those things, they are sweet. The other side of it, the alcohol that we usually consume, again, dulling some of the other emotions that we have, highlighting the ones that cause us to relax and that kind of thing. The ham and so forth, the salt and the savoriness of it also gives us that kind of sensation of being calm and being home and being happy. So when you bring all of those things together and you say to us, you have access to all of it, our bodies is saying, "Ah," and that is what
Yay!
is difficult. Exactly.
Yes.
That is difficult to control. Now I go into that to tell you that it really is the chemistry of our bodies that we are fighting against. So we have to be conscious of it, and we cannot beat ourselves too much because we are getting these responses. Our bodies are responding the way our bodies were designed to respond. So then what do? You need to be, again, clear of what your go-to foods are. So for example, if you know that it is the black cake and the black cake is what gets you, a way to do it is to ensure that when you're getting the black cake, that you don't actually buy the whole black cake, or you don't have three black cake in your house. If somebody's giving you and you get three, gift two others one time, cut
Yes.
one in half, put it in the fridge, in the freezer one time, so you know that for the season, for the week, 2 weeks between Christmas and New Year's, you have this one half a black cake that you're eating a little sliver. If it's a little sliver every day, you know that that is what you're doing, and that is what you are gifting yourself on Christmas. Because if you have the three black cake there, you're eating all three.
I know that for
So
me.
it is making those kinds of decisions that we then remove some of these things from around us. Again, you're not getting rid of all of the black cake from your house because you're gonna sit there for the whole Christmas thinking about how horrible your Christmas is because you don't have any black cake. But you could say to yourself, you know what, this is going to be my treat at 6 o'clock every evening after I've done this, that, and the other. My treat for the day is eating my little slice of black cake, and you look forward to that every day for the week. And you know that when you half finish or your quarter finish, you have enjoyed it, and you now don't feel the guilt of having to now have the weight gain and so forth. You don't have to go to the hospital because your blood sugar all the way up and now you need to deal with that. But you have actually enjoyed the thing that you love for the season.
Living going in the direction that it is going. Some of us are so into the Christmas season, the spirit of Christmas, the joy, that we shop with so much emotion. We're emotional shoppers. And so we get to the grocery store, we get to whichever establishment we're about to purchase our fine wines and all these niceties. We get there and we're reaching, and we don't necessarily budget. That's the
Mm-hmm.
thing, the budgeting part of it. We don't necessarily budget for the things that we are pulling down because it's Christmas and we want the best and we're emotional and we have to have this in the house and we have to have this for when Auntie Mary passed by. And it's a cultural kind of thing as well. What are your thoughts on that emotional
Yeah.
shopping? Can we even safeguard against it?
We can. So there are two things we need to consider. The same way the ice cream actually makes you feel good for some of us, we call it shop therapy or retail therapy. The act of going in and buying these things actually makes us feel good as well. The same way the ice cream for the binge eating makes us feel good. So there are two things we need to consider. One, remember the hard months, and I say months with a capital S of January. The guava seasons that January will
Oh,
bring.
yes.
When you spend out all your December salary that you probably get early because, government pays early for December. Places pay early for December. Remember that that is really what needs to take you all the way through the 6 months of January to get you through to February. One of the ways to deal with that also is to ensure that you actually pay your bills as soon as you get your money. So as soon as you get that December salary, pay your bills, the light bill, the water, the gas, whatever it is, pay it so that you know that even if you go wild with shopping, you have already taken care of the needs of the household. The other thing you need to do is ensure that before you go shopping that you eat. There is nothing worse than shopping on an empty stomach. It seems like it triggers your hand reaching. The emptiness of your stomach does cause your hand to reach and to do that and grab things. So ensure that before you go to shop, that you've actually eaten and that your mind and your body is in a satiated, meaning it feels full, so that you do have to fill the urge of the emptiness that you're feeling in your stomach with the things that you are taking off of the shelves. And if we do those two things, I think we could help ourselves a lot and prevent the kind of binge shopping that we usually experience around this time as well.
I love the fact that you pointed out, because it's not just a one person problem. It's not just a one-off thing. It's very common to each and every one of us. And as you said before, Dr. Faith, Christmas is that time that brings about that emotion. It's joyous, it's fun, it's such a loving time. And many of us are that type of emotional shopper. We get into it, we get into all the excitement. I even know of, and here this crazy thing, right? Some people start diets later on in the year. Is this necessarily a good thing? Because we bounce into Christmas and we're sending ourselves crazy because of that emotion that you were just speaking about. Is this necessarily something that we should be doing in terms of starting a diet?
So any change that you're making, you need to ask yourself why you are making that change. Um, so weight loss, usually when people are dieting, it's because of weight loss that they're trying to control their weight. So you have to ask yourself, what is the point? Am I trying to get to, for example, wearing a dress that I purchased that is a little bit too small for the wedding that is on New Year's Day? And because that is a different kind of incentive compared
Yes.
to somebody who is just, you just decide you're going on a diet in November. Going on a diet in November is, I think, is one of the most torturous things you can do to yourself, unless
Oh,
you are a hermit, you
yes.
in the bush somewhere, and nobody coming by you, paranging by you for Christmas. So you have to ask yourself, why are you going on the diet? Again, it goes back to us being very clear about why we're doing things and being very clear on the mechanism that we are using for weight loss needs to be one that is sustained beyond the thing. So if you know the thing is getting into that dress for New Year's Day, what we frequently see happening is that 2 weeks after New Year's Day, because you fit in the dress, New Year's Day, you're happy, you start eating everything that you've deprived yourself of for the last month. And by February 1st, you've already regained all of the weight and you have regained more because you've deprived yourself so much up until that period. And that is why what we recommend is if you are doing any kind of weight loss training, whether it's the gym, the diet, or the combination, which is really what you should be doing, you need to do it in a way that is sustained and do it in a way that is gradual. Because when your body drops weight very quickly, for example, it goes into this way of, it's a survival mode. So
Right.
your body's thinking, what is happening? Am I starving? Why am I losing weight? And then your body does everything in its power to try to grab on to everything that you eat because it doesn't know what's happening because it's trying to save your life. And that is where the yo-yo keeps happening. So you lose the 10 pounds in a week really quickly, but because you've sent your body into that kind of distress, it means the week after that, you gain back the 10 and you gain 5 more because your body thought you were going to die and it's doing everything in its power to prevent you from dying. So you have to be conscious of those little shifts as well when you are making these kinds of health related changes in your life. It needs to be sustained and it needs to be gradual.
And just before we wrap, Dr. Faith, one question that I cannot let you leave without asking this question. Now, right after Christmas, we go into the carnival season. That's a whole other vibe all by itself. And so everyone is now pumped and ready, getting to the gym, starting these fad diets, and, just doing the most, as the young people say. Is this something that is going to be detrimental in the long run? Because I have some concerns with, I've seen it actually, where people get to the gym because carnival is early and they have to look a certain way. And then they get to the gym and they injure themselves, they overexert, and it's so much more stress. Just before we wrap, let's just touch a little bit on that issue before we wrap.
Right. So again, it's going back to these unrealistic expectations. And what usually happens is you overdo it for Christmas, you gain the weight, you then realize that you have your $3,000, $5,000 skimpy carnival outfit that you need to wear. So you suddenly need to get the six pack for carnival 2 months later. And that's just not a sustainable way to do it. You that no, if you have the right trainer, and if you are someone like Beyonce, for example, who has somebody to cook for them, has very rigid things and so forth, you can do it. But even if you listen to someone like Beyonce, for example, who tells you what she needs to do to get in shape for her concerts, right after the concert, they fall off and they gain back the weight because it is simply not sustainable. And that is what we have to be conscious of. That whatever we do, we need to do it in a way that allows us to maintain it for the rest of your life. And if what you're doing, you can't maintain it for the rest of your life, then you need to rethink what you're doing and how you're doing it and shift that perspective. So maybe the aim is not to fit in the 5,000 little skimpy bikini costume this year, but to fit in it next year or the year after. And you work on it for the entire period, getting to that point instead.
And there you have it. You said it so well. I have nothing else to say. I feel as if I was so informed, and I'm hoping that you guys were informed as well. I told you needed to stay because the information is coming through fast and furious. And of course, it's Tobago Updates Network Television, and we bring it to you live. So we just want to thank Dr. Faith B. Israel for being a part of Brunch today. Thank you so much for your information, your insight, your advice, because I'm hoping that everyone is a bit more clearer on setting attainable goals. Okay, we're not going off the deep end. All right, so Dr. Faith, thank you so much. Blessings to you, of course, and success in whatever you endeavor to do. So we thank you so much.
Thank you, and same to you. Same to everyone who is listening, viewing. Merry Christmas if I don't see you before.
Thank you so much. And that was our conversation with Dr. Faith B. Yisrael. And I'm going to take a break. But before I do that, guys, our trivia question for today: what is the name of the island of the northeast tip of Tobago? I'm going to say it one more time. What is the name of the island of the northeast tip of Tobago? The answer at the end of the show. We're going to return with more Brunch, a taste of Tobago. We're going to be speaking with Michael Stewart, a very good friend, up next. 10 things in relationships. We need to talk about that. You guys come back. We'll see you soon.
Glass Supplies has been a leading name for over 37 years in the glass and aluminum market in Tobago. We provide an extensive range of high-quality, innovative aluminum and glass products for commercial and residential use. Competitive prices with superior and professional services by committed employees who are guided by rigid quality standards. Tobago Glass Supplies specializes in the manufacture and installation of glass and aluminum products that are essential to today's homeowners and the business environment. We are engaged in marketing, sales, and installation of a variety of products. These ranges from windows and doors to necessities such as mirrors for homes and vehicles, designed and manufactured in-house or imported.
Everybody only worrying. Never ever worry. Don't mind how things looking hard. I tell them never ever worry. If your nice car get damaged bad. I tell them never ever worry. What I'm saying is true. So just consider Tatil is always right here for you. Never ever worry if sickness catch you off guard. I tell them never ever worry if times fall on you real hard. I tell them never ever worry. What I'm saying is true. So just consider Tatil will always be here for you. Never worry about a thing. Tatil, where people are people. You know what I mean.
You know, one of the things that I really love about doing this show, I don't want to sound like a broken record, but I have to say it all the time. The people that I meet, the conversations that I have, it's so diverse. It's like such a wide cross-section of persons who sit on the brunch set and who have taken the time to really inform and educate. And we just want to say thank you to Dr. Faith B. Yisrael, Secretary for the Division of Health, Wellness and Social Protection, for gracing us and having that wonderful conversation. And we want to say blessings to each and every one of you, and thank you so much for being a part of Brunch today. And of course, my next guest is no different. He is such a staple of the show. It's not even funny. He's always here, always willing to share information, and I absolutely love that about him. Michael Stewart is here, and we're going to be talking about, you know, those causes of problems in relationships. Of course, we outlined 10, but I mean, if the time permits us, we could go on and on because it's such a wonderful conversation to have. And you guys need to listen because it's so important. So, Mr. Michael Stewart, good morning.
Good morning, and I promise you that you would not have time for the 10.
I wouldn't have time.
Not for the 10.
Oh gosh, so that means you had to come back yet again.
I'll be more than happy to do
that
so.
Information for us. How are you doing?
Very good, very good. You look as luscious as ever.
Oh, good. Well, thank you. And let me just say, you walked in and I love your ensemble. I love the colors that you chose.
Okay.
Those lovely earth tones are wonderful.
Thank you very kind.
Right. So tell us, let's delve in. Relationships, problems. Let's delve into that. That's so informative right now. We need to just be in the know as to the do's and the don'ts.
Yes.
So let's start with you.
So one of the pet areas that I recognize that you have is that communication aspect. We usually break down in communication.
Definitely.
So I think that is a good place to start as to how we end up breaking down with the communication. Many times when we speak from a point of our emotions and how we feel. And the person hears it from the standpoint of aggression and feeling attacked and blamed. So the person is speaking, when they use their words, they're using the words that are emotive in nature. So when somebody says, you don't support me with anything I do, that's emotional, because that is never really a fact. Because the fact that you're in the relationship with the person, there was some measure of support at some point. But the person takes it literally and now feels attacked. So that is the breakdown of the relationship issue of communication that we're talking about. So we try to tell people is that, let's take it the person who's on the other side of hearing this. Don't listen to what the person has said literally. Feel for them. Be empathetic and put yourself into the person's shoes and say, what is this person trying to say? That because that they are hurt, they have said something else that might affect me and might make me feel attacked and so on, or make it sound accusatory. But it may not be that is what they are saying. Because most times the person is saying it because they are frustrated. They have been trying so hard. And just give the person a chance to hear what they are saying and not the words itself. So that's number one. The other thing is that we usually say is not what you say, it's how you say it. So it is important for us in choosing our words, when we're going to say something to somebody, to choose those words judiciously by saying, I want to say that I need support, more support from the person. If therefore we want more support, then don't say you don't support me in anything I do. Say, whenever you are involved in what I'm doing, I find that things move along my life faster. And I would like to see that kind of support that you have always given me in the past. You are actually saying you're not getting it anymore. But you are saying it in a subtle way that you used to give me it in the past, and I want it back now because I need you at this time in my life or to do this particular project. So when we choose the words that does not make a person feel as though they are being pressured, attacked, accused, etc. Just choose them carefully. So once both sides operate with that and the person gives some leeway and say, okay, the person used some wrong words, but this is what I'm hearing that they are trying to say. Then we're good to go.
And one of the things that I have seen so many times is that persons realize that at some point in the journey in the relationship, they are not on the same page. They may have started off having that bond and having that easy flow of communication. And as with everything else, a person changes. We go through so many changes, so much evolution. Our mind might find things that we now may take precedence over certain parts of our relationship. And then there's that shift. There's a shift in what each partner in the relationship wants. This is something that I see happening all the time because we change. As we grow, we change, we evolve. And so most of us have that breakdown there. And then we come at it with emotion, as you said. And so it's stings, it's a jab,
And we do change. The reason why a snail changes its shell is because it is growing, but the shell is not. So if you're in a relationship that you are growing and the person is not growing with you, the natural thing that the person wants to do is to change the shell, that which constricts me. So it is important for both people to grow together, because had the shell been growing, the snail would not have changed the shell. You see?
I get it.
So if my partner is taking certain actions and they're developing and so on, can I develop in some other area? I don't have to go academic. I don't have to go with what my partner is doing, but I must be able to go so that our conversation can continue to flow because we are able to connect with each other. And if that is not taking place, the communication is going to break down. Yeah.
Yeah. What are some of the other issues that we might face and problems in our relationships?
Intimacy.
Okay.
Intimacy. We all need to feel a sense of connection. That me and this person, we almost like a symphony. We in a musical band, we may not be playing the same instrument. We have different instruments, but we playing the same song with different tunes. So both of us want the best for the relationship, but I don't have to do the exact thing you are doing to help us both get there. And allow each other to be able to connect intimately, not only from a sexual standpoint, but the way how we feel safe with each other. That emotional connection is important, that this person understands me.
Yes.
This person appreciates me. This person gets me. And I get the person. I can be able to relate to the person. It's when that has broken down that we miss that emotional intimacy, and of course it is going to now affect the physical intimacy. Because if you don't feel connected with a person, well, in the case of many women, they've got to feel emotionally connected with the person that they are going to give themselves fully with. They may have sex, but they may not be able to make love to somebody they don't feel connected with.
Yes, that connection must be there.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. So it is more than just an act. It is almost an experience that takes place. But that experience physically does not come from the bedroom. It comes long before that, as to how I feel about you and how you feel about me. And that's where we have to now work around. Many times we bypass that. We will have a busy schedule. We come home and so on. We shower, bam, sex, go and sleep. And you ask yourself, why is the person not involved in the act? It's as though they have somebody else.
Yeah.
It's as though they no longer making love to me and so on. But we don't connect. So if we don't connect there otherwise, then it is more or less we are tenants in the same bed.
Yeah.
You see? So that's one of the other issues.
And you know, intimacy in itself, for intimacy and effective intimacy, if I may say, to happen, then the connection, as you said, has to be there long before. That communication, that understanding, that support has to be there. So you get to a point where you're just going through the motions.
That's right.
And each party is just cold. There's a routine. You get
and one feel being used.
Yeah.
It's just all about sex, and
Yeah.
that has its all implication. So you could tell that the person wants sex tonight because of the things they do, the things they say. But this wasn't there all the time. It wasn't there generally during the week. But you could get rid of that if generally this is how we relate to each other.
Right.
In a very soft, tender, affectionate way. Then that person would not have a problem now in making love at that point in time.
Right. And you know, some women, I say this because I have heard it, it's not just me running off at my mouth right now. I have heard it before where women say they feel like a piece of meat. I've heard men say the same thing. And it took me back because I thought in my little cloister, I thought that that was just a female conversation. But I have also heard men express that, you know, right now she's just treating me like I'm a piece of meat.
Right. Well, I'm not too sure I've heard that much, you know.
Yeah, I've heard
because
people
I know
say
that for sure, because a woman needs that emotional connection that she said she feel used, she feel as a piece of meat. But remember, a man, even though he's vexed with a woman, he's quite prepared to still have sex with her, as long as she's prepared to hands it up.
Yes.
That he's okay. But yet I know that you may have some of the men would really feel used because it's only when she wants sex that she knows me. I know that men generally more feel used when she wants money.
Okay. Oh, that's a whole other
vibe,
right?
So she wants to give sex because she wants money.
Right.
So that is when I understand that he feels used. But trust me, most men would say, hey, okay, you want it? I ready for you.
Yeah. there's that dynamic, that small percentage, because I actually heard men say that.
Right.
I feel like a piece of meat. Yeah.
Okay. That is a nice research to start with.
Yes, I think so.
Yes,
What
yes.
else can we look into? Because there's so many things that come into having a relationship and the successful one of
Yes,
that.
yes.
What are some of the other causes that we can look into? We touched
Trust.
on intimacy, communication,
Trust.
trust.
I usually say, trust once broken could never get back its original.
Yeah.
Because there is always going to be now something. Not only can you not get it back with the person that you're with, even when that person moves on to a next relationship, the trust and innocence of that trust, you don't go into the next relationship because you're now looking to see if this person is going to do you what that last person did.
Right.
So it's like your virginity. If you lost your virginity, you can't unvirgin yourself.
Yeah.
You have lost it forever.
Forever.
But you can do other things to be able to create a semblance of acceptance thereafter. So, but there are going to be some adjustment that has to be made in the relationship if trust has been taken. So if I have been untrustworthy to somebody, to my wife or what have you, there are things that I would need to do more than I would have if I did not breach the trust. If I have somebody in my car, if I have a woman in my car, I may need to explain who is that woman before I may not have had to explain. But I can't say that I don't know why they have to ask me who that person is. Because I breach trust, I need to now show some measure of restoring that confidence. I receive a telephone call, I'm going to take it privately, and my wife is sitting there. I need to say, hey, listen, I need to take this call. It's from the office. I'm just going to go on the balcony and take the call. Just explain it. But if I just take the call, before trust was broken, I could have taken that call, just go on the balcony, talk, and come back. But now I need that explanation that has to take place. And it is on both sides, both the man doing that and also the woman doing that, if she is the one who may have breached trust in some form or the other.
Trust, trust, trust. I mean, we say it and it sounds so simple when we do. But do we even fathom the implications of not having trust? Because like you said, once it has been broken or tainted in any way, shape, or form, you seldom get it back. This is stress on a relationship.
Right. Because if I found out that you breached the trust, my question is going to be, what else have you breached that I'm not aware of?
Right.
So it does not just stick to this issue. It now expands a number of other issues in the relationship. Who else knows also? So let's say that it is a case of infidelity and I have been unfaithful to you.
Right.
You will now feel uncomfortable in the presence of my friends because you're going to ask yourself, probably your friends knew all of the time and I was like a fool, did not know.
Right.
So that also affects not only both of us, it affects other areas of my life because you'd want to know what else I may have been doing, and it also affects the relationship and association that we have because you would probably think my best friend knew and said nothing, but my best friend used to be coming home by you. And also we would be going out together and socializing. You would have a little problem now to have to deal with that best friend.
Definitely. And it sets such a negative tone. It's so heavy. There's a heaviness that comes with not having trust in a relationship, and then it branches off into so many other things.
Yes, it does.
So really quickly before we wrap, one other thing that you were right, we can't even get to half of the 10 because of the time. But before we wrap, really quickly, one other cause of problems.
When we have different goals in life and we have not tried to find that the compatibility of the goals. So I want a promotion and I want to go to Trinidad to pursue that promotion. But my wife may not think that's a goal that she wants to do, to uproot the family and go to Trinidad.
Right.
But I may make a position that this is what I want. then I would now have a problem on my hand, because I am now going to separate the family. That also has implication. If I'm in Trinidad and I can't come up every weekend, I'm coming up once a month or twice a month, what does that do to the children? What does that do to the family? What does it do to the trust issues? When I'm in Trinidad, what am I doing? When she's in Tobago, what she's doing? So the goals we got to sit down and work out the goals as to how best to be able to do it and make some sacrifice in order to make it work.
Definitely. And you know, this information, there's so much that you give, there's so much that you can instill. And I know persons want to know, okay, how do I reach Mr. Michael Stewart? Because I feel that he needs to be a witness to something that I'm going through. I feel that he's a good listener. How do we contact you if we need to get in that space with you?
Well, I'm on Facebook, I'm on social media. My telephone number is 868-480-0080. And I put in the 868 for those who are probably outside of Trinidad and Tobago.
Yes.
And I have a website, michael80stewart.com. Just go to the website, you could communicate with me there. Many of the things that I do are on that website. And of course, I'm on WhatsApp. So people can use that same number, 868-480-0080, to get me on WhatsApp.
And it's quite simple, 868-480-0080. It's quite simple. It just kind of rings off your tongue there, a bit. And you know, we have to invite you back. So it's not even a question that you need to come back, because we still have to get into the causes that we did not get to mention. And so you still have to come back and sit with me and have the discussion.
And I look forward to it.
So blessings to you. Oh my gosh. Success in whatever you endeavor to do. Thank you for your work. Thank you for being that catalyst for information.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Appreciate it, and appreciate all that your station does to educate the public.
Thank you so much. And we are going to be right back with more Brunch, A Taste of Tobago. Of course, our trivia question for today, I cannot leave without mentioning it again. What is the name of the island of the northeast tip of Tobago? End of the show? Yeah, I'll have that answer for you, because I'm wondering myself what the answer could be. All right, so we're going to take a break. We're going to be right back. Of course, book club is up next. You don't want to miss this one. So come on back to Brunch. I promise it's going to be really, really awesome. Come on back. We'll see you soon.
And the most vibes, and the most cars, and the most price. The most giveaways, the most parade. Having a Christmas season with me mobile. I want a Christmas season with me mobile. Bring the sorrel every toast to a Merry Christmas. Having a Christmas season with me mobile.
Top up, buy a plan, sign up, or pay your bills. Enjoy the best Trinbago Christmas. Be mobile. Life is on.
13B Portmore, Scarborough, Tobago, with over 25 years experience offering services in and not limited to microscopic blood analysis, reflexology, and the sale of a wide range of organic herbal products used to supplement thyroid, lymphatic, heart, kidney, and brain health, and the male and female reproductive systems. Come and chat with us. Remember, your health is your wealth.
At JK Tech, we bring technology to your doorstep. From cutting-edge laptops to reliable printers, we've got it all. Nationwide delivery and a new website for easy online ordering. JK Tech is your one-stop shop for your electronics and computer needs, carrying top brands such as Acer, Samsung, HP, and much more. Follow us on Facebook and Instagram at JKTechTT or visit jktechtt.com. Quality tech is just a click away. JK Tech. Evaluate your shopping experience, your tech, your way. Call or WhatsApp 383-2651. Shop smart, shop JK Tech.
And a little paran ban, Merry Christmas, season's greetings, compliments of the season to you all across Trinidad and Tobago and the Caribbean. And if you don't celebrate the Christmas season, you don't acknowledge it, or it's a little painful for you, whatever works for you, right? So I hope you're having a good day wherever you are, and welcome to Book Club Corner, where every Wednesday, well, this is the last one, right? But every Wednesday we've been chatting with local authors about the literary arts, about their book and their love for the written word. And of course, today is no different. We'll be chatting with a local author called Latoya Roberts, and she is, let me tell you, she is the writer of the book collection of poems. She is the communications consultant. I don't want to tell you where, right? We're going to keep that a secret. She's an editor at Books by LR, a co-owner of Lamb's Best Mart, and she is the managing consultant at LRT Media and Business Solutions, a member of the Caribbean Creatives Network, and a member of the TNT Artist Registry. Right? And she is also a member of the Tobago Writers Guild. Latoya, welcome. And I see you have on the festive colors.
Of course. Compliments of the season to you.
Thank you. And we have some sorrel wine today. Listen, we're going to get into everything today. It is the season finale. I want to thank those who have been viewing, sharing, tuning in, reading the books, buying the books, supporting our local authors for the last 25 weeks, right? We've been at this for 25 weeks. So congratulations to all the authors who have been on, and congratulations to all the authors to come. But I hope that we will buy some Christmas gifts that are books for our children, for our friends, for ourselves. Give to yourself something productive and good for this Christmas season, and get a book. Just remember, I don't want you all to forget this. Just remember, there are 6 months in January, guys, coming up. Because I know you all like to spend for Christmas, right? Don't forget the 6 months of January. And you'll need some funds for that too, right? So while you're buying your books, all the bibliophiles out there, when we get in the bookstore, we buy. Just remember, January is coming. There'll be a tomorrow. Don't spend out all your money today, okay? Okay, guys? Just letting you know. I just want to put that out there. Be moderate in your spending, in your eating, and enjoy your Christmas season. Latoya,
yes,
we have plenty to talk about.
A lot, definitely.
This book collection of poems. Well, we read this for our book club, right? So there's the Tobago Book Club, and we read this year.
Yes,
and
you did.
We had a little meetup and we didn't get to drink and eat like we like to. But we had a meetup this year to talk to you about your book. So this is extra for me. I'm getting to do this twice.
Great.
But what I want to talk to you about, apart from writing a book of poetry, because I feel, for me, poetry is nothing easy to get into.
No, it's not.
But for some people, it's just like riding a bike. It's something that comes really natural to some of them, right? Tell me about why you decided to write a book of poetry.
Sure. So, Joelle, a lot of my work within the field of communication means that I've been writing pretty much long extended prose all my life, I will say. But I just decided to try a different genre, do something a little bit unique, a little bit different out of my comfort zone. So it required me to adapt my writing style a bit, definitely. It also required me a bit to be creative in the words. It's easy to put a full sentence or a paragraph together most times, but sometimes when you're trying to convey your ideas into poetry, into poem, it really takes you to understand your process and also how persons will interpret what you read. Because many times poetry could have a lot of interpretation that might be different from the purpose that the author wanted to at the point in time. But I enjoyed writing, and the thing about it is, once you start writing poetry, it just flows. Once you get the hang of 1, 2, 3, you end up with 70. And then you're like, oh, right, this is a book.
I can't agree because I'm not a poet by nature. When I start to write a poet, listen, it's be like, oh my God, I'm not a poet. So I just look at you poets and I'll be like, how did they do it? And you have some precious ones in here, let me tell you. Guys, this is a book that is easy to carry, small. Listen, I know there are some big volumes out there, and hats off, kudos to the big volumes. But you see, when you're traveling and you're reading, you want something you could throw in your handbag, your suitcase, your briefcase, whatever it is you're moving with. You want something you could throw in it quick, and you could sit down on the plane or wherever you are, the taxi, the maxi, and you could sit down and have a good read. Right?
Yes.
So this is one of those volumes. You can have a really quick read with this collection of poems by Latoya Roberts. It's, listen, fantastic. I saw this poem while I was looking through your book.
Which poem is that?
You know which one, I told you. Online advocacy.
So let me let the viewers understand. You know, when I did the book is categorized in 5 thematic areas. Because the thing with poetry is that you kind of write based on content themes. So the book has 5 themes, areas, and it's really important to know. The first one has to do with woman, because I'm a woman myself, so woman in society is one. Then the second theme is civil society movements. So the poem that you like is in there.
Don't run ahead.
Don't run you.
Don't run ahead.
So just get to the book.
Yeah, let's not run ahead, because listen, I'm getting into all of that. But this online advocacy,
okay,
I have to say, you really touched on something I found was what we in this time deal with all the time, right? So the poem starts with Siri, and when I was like,
so
is she advocating for Apple?
No, I'm not advocating for Apple. But let's read the poem and let's get in and see. So it says, Siri, can you find a vote I can see? I didn't get that. Did you mean advocacy? Oh yes, that is what I meant. Advocacy, public support for a recommendation of a cause or policy. Activists, civil organizations use the word to explain their actions before it was letters, protests, meetings with the minister. Nowadays, everybody's busy with their fingers. Click, click, click. Hashtag, emoji. Tweet, post, or submit. Digital advocacy is the new manuscript. Every individual now has a voice online. Technology has become every advocate's best friend. Devices available with messages to send. Cell phone, tablet, desktop, smartwatch and TV. No excuse to get online. Tweets, lives, and the stories. We are bombarded with so much information and fallacies. Being online is good and sexy, but you also need to consider digital privacy. Cyberbullying, getting hacked, censorship, and stealing your identity. So be careful with your Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, Snapchat, YouTube, or Twitter. Sometimes social media can make you a blacklister. The story of the story is what is important. Whether you are online or offline, conscious change in a society by a vote will affect you and me.
I love this poem. I think I love this poem more than all the poems that you wrote because of the message, right? A lot of times people go online and, they're cyberbullies.
Yes, they are.
They don't know it, right? I know sometimes you all don't intend to, but you'll go on there and you tell people all sorts of things about the mummies and the daddies on the internet because nobody can see you. But, let's change for 2024. Let's use the internet, let's use the platforms for, as you say, advocacy. Tell us, because I know you do quite a bit of work in advocacy as well.
Yes, I do.
So, heading off, just tell us, explain to the viewers, what is advocacy? And in your own words, what advocacy is and how we can use as authors, right, as writers, how we can use that platform and how you've used it to help any causes that you think, even as a woman, that may need your voice.
Well, I believe advocacy is when you have a cause and you're definitely speaking out for it. You're challenging probably a statement or norm about it. And I think at the end of the goal for advocacy is you need some sort of change or movement. So if you're speaking out about something and there's no action, there's no call to action or change or movement, whether it's a policy decision or it's to convince a few people in your network to support the cause or rally around something. So advocacy is that when you believe in a cause, there must be a cause. Just opening your mouth doesn't necessarily mean it's advocacy, right? There needs to be some set of cause. There need to be beneficiaries or persons that it's going to impact. And then you definitely have to want a change. You definitely want to refresh the system or change something that is happening.
Yeah. I'm going to put out there to you guys, 2024 is coming around. People are looking for, what are resolutions? What do I want to change about my life? Find a cause. Perhaps something you're already dealing with, right? And devote yourself to that, to making a change, making the world a better space. As this poem is talking about online advocacy, the internet, those platforms are fantastic for making sure that you make a positive change, or at least put your voice towards that positive change. And we want to definitely look at positivity, whether it's helping a local business, whether it's supporting authors. We want to always uplift our community and uplift ourselves in the society to make sure that we're looking at something positive. And if it's a negative, how can we make a good move to turn that negative into a positive? Yeah, before we go any further, I'm watching the wine.
We could have a sip. We could have a sip to online advocacy.
Yeah, we're having some sorrel wine today. And I'm going to cheers today. It's our season 1 finale, right? So we're celebrating that we've had 25 good seasons, 25 authors. But apart from that, I want to celebrate all our authors out there. You have been doing such a fantastic job for 2023. Writing, advocating for your book, advocating for your voice. Cheers to you, Latoya.
Cheers. The sorrel tastes good.
We usually do the 5 S's, but this is a wine we've had before.
Okay.
So I'm not even going to bother. I know it's good, right? This is from Joe Field Wines. This is their sorrel, right? Joe Field, thank you so much. We've had some great sponsors over the 25 weeks, and we want to thank Joe Field, one of them, Marlene Sharp for her wine, Stacy Herbert. We've had such Gemma in Canaan, my good friend Gemma. We've had such good advocacy with the sponsorship. So I just want to tell you all thanks, and we support you. Get your wines for this Christmas season, your punch, your creme, all your drinks, stock up, guys. Let's get back into this. Women in society. Latoya, women in society.
So this is the first theme of the book, and this thematic area is really passionate for me because as a woman, there are expectations that go with womanhood, I suppose. There are the norms, there are the values, there are the challenges, there are the highs, there are the lows. So this segment actually features 9 poems, and some are really dark. And not dark in a negative, but it speaks about
violence against women. It speaks about the issues women face, but some are also about empowerment, lifting other women up, praising women. Some are about me admiring women that I saw in my society while growing up. So one is actually a tribute to my mother. It's called Becoming My Mother.
Hi, Mom.
So there are a variety of poems that deal with the essence, what it means to be a woman.
Yeah, you know, and when we say we want to, you know, when I say I want to focus on the positives, it's not that, you know, we don't want to talk about the negatives, because sometimes talking about a negative can bring about a positive, right? Sometimes you overeat and you need to get stuff out, and you feel better after. If you're going through something, writing about it is the best way to get over it. It's very cathartic, guys. You should get into journaling and writing for 2024. Let me tell you, and it can start now, right? That could be your Christmas present to yourself. Writing even about the negatives, just to get it off your chest, right? Get it out of your system. It's fantastic. And when we went into your poems, right? This woman in society, there was a particular poem. Let me see, Struggles of a Single Woman. That wasn't the one. Was it females at the back? That wasn't it. Let me tell you, all my book club members and all they're watching out there saying, we know which one, right? I am becoming my mother. Do you remember that one?
My mom.
I am becoming my mother. Let's get into that. You know, a lot of times for women, we have to deal with some of the realizations that we are now coming into as we get older. Tell me some of the things for you that this poem represents, that perhaps you told yourself, I will never be like that.
Well, I know, right? So this poem, I'm Becoming My Mother, is a reflection of all the things that I saw my mom will do in the household while growing up. And now the reality is that I'm a mother. I'll have to do those things. So I think that is what it entails. But then the opposite is I also have a poem, A Woman's Role in the Home. It's like a flip version of that because it's nothing of the values that my mother had while I saw growing up. But it's now where I see myself in the home and my role.
Life is continually evolving.
I know.
You know, what women were, what we did, who we became, you know, 50 years ago, it's kind of nowhere close, right? Our society is moving so quickly. We have had to keep up too, right? And they have had to keep up with us as we go out there and work and do the, you know, let me tell you, conquer the world, right? Like King Kong, right? They have had to keep up with us. Listen, guys, we're going on a quick break. Latoya and I are going to continue sipping and chatting. Please come back with us. We're going to be talking about some themes in her book, but as you go on your break, Latoya,
cheers.
Thank you for being here. We'll see you in a few minutes, guys. Bye.
Light up the Christmas with the best fiber. Surfboard channels switch to Amplia. Thousands in prizes, plenty smart TVs. 1 year free service and free groceries. We surfing with for 50% off, plus a chance to win over $100,000 in prizes. Call 800-4663.
This Christmas we celebrating, cause B-Mobile they coming with rating. So brace yourself for plenty prices, cause this season will be done nice. It's the most deals and the most vibes and the most cars and the most price. The most giveaways, the most para. Having a Christmas season with B-Mobile. I want a Christmas season with B-Mobile. Bring the sorrow and we toast to a Merry Christmas. Having a Christmas season with B-Mobile.
Top up, buy a plan, sign up or pay your bills. Enjoy the best Tobago Christmas. B-Mobile. Life is on.
Rotisserie, mouth-watering fries, salads, combos, and specials galore. Feeling for something to eat? Come and see Our rotisserie is seasoned to the T. Kicking chicken, masala and jerk roast. Crispy fries made from scratch. Who do you know can't beat that? Or salads freshly cut and packed. When you taste it, you'll be wanting to come back. So come check us out on number 2 Robinson Street, Uptown Scarborough, Tobago. We open on Saturday nights from 7:30 to 11:30 p.m. Monday to Thursday, we're open from 10 a.m. to 9:30 p.m. And on Friday, 10 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. Contact us at 772-7443 and all social media handles at The Rotisserie Factory.
Trinbagonians abroad support the homeland in diverse ways. Watch examples of patriotism and gain insights into the giving back as practiced by the TT diaspora in Tobago, spanning the period 1960s to early 2000. Produced and directed by Dr. Andre Phillips, this groundbreaking documentary is a credit to the feel-good psyche at Christmas and beyond.
Welcome back, viewers across Trinidad and Tobago and the wider Caribbean. Thank you for tuning in to Book Club Corner today. I am Jewel Green, and we're here today with a wonderful, amazing local author called Latoya Roberts, and her book is called A Collection of Poems. Latoya, welcome back. While we were on the break, we were just going through this book and the themes. Let me just get into the themes for you, all right? So we have here part 1, women in society, civil society movements, that's part 2, part 3, inspiration and motivation, part 4, exploring the world, and part 5, roots and identity. Latoya, why these 5 thematic areas? Why did you pick these, or why did these emerge? Tell me if they did. Did it emerge after you wrote the poems, or did you sit and say, I'm writing under these themes?
I think majority of the poems were done, and then I looked at the patterns and the order and the content there is, and the themes emerged. That was my process. It wasn't about selecting the themes first and then writing.
That's so organic. So, whatever that inspiration poured out of you,
yes,
you put it down and then you looked at it and say, okay, this is what the art is.
Yes, definitely.
I tell you, your poet's amazing, I don't even know how you'll do it. Guys, this book is, let me tell you how many pages. This book is 67 pages, right? Well, it's 70 at the end, but up to where, right there, poems. 67 pages, 69, sorry.
69.
And let me tell you, every page packed with some great content. There's not a wishy-washy book, There's not one of those. This is not a wishy-washy
No, it's not.
This book is full of content, solid content. Let's get into that poem that we talked about.
So the average person who knows me knows that I don't really like traditional housework, the traditional title of what a woman should be like.
Let me get comfy for this one.
So this poem is entitled A Woman's Role in the Home. I am not a traditional woman and would never be. My body was not automatically programmed to cook food, clean, wash wares, or clothes. I did this out of common courtesy. A woman's place is in the home, some ignorant ones will say. And when we aspire to earn a living, once it's not in the home, we seem out of place. Working a 9 to 5 to make ends meet is a true reality. Then coming home to labor a second job is also the expectation of society. But who creates these norms and demands upon the woman? Unfortunately, we were socialized and brainwashed this way. Now that we are trying to step out of this male-dominant program, we must retrain our minds to realize that there must be gender balance. A man's place in the home is equally important as the opposite sex. Together, we both bring income, wash the wares, and discover our talents. So, the next time someone utters a woman's place is in the home to me, with a simple smile and a calm response, I will reply, that is not how I want my life to be.
I love that. That was so sweet. After all of this, I can't say enough about this poem. This really embodies how many women are dealing with the constraints and expectations of society, right? A lot of people, we're not bashing you, but a lot of women went and spent out the whole salary getting curtains and trees and getting new mats for the kitchen and sorting the space out because this is what, people
They want,
expect. But I will challenge women today. Don't just do what's expected. Do what you expect of yourself. Dig deep and look and see who you are, what your goals are. You're not just here to support other people. Your goals are also important. How did this poem come to you? Was there a pivotal moment? Somebody get you vexed, they throw more waste in the sink, and you say, you see this damn thing?
I think for me, I very rarely cook. Anybody who knows me knows that I eat out a lot and I don't really like to cook. And I will take care of things in the home when I want to do it, but I also balance it with my dreams and the things I want to do. And I think when you're looking for a partner or when you're building your household values, I think it's about finding that balance. Nobody could say the man's place is outside and the woman's place is in the home to me. That doesn't work for me. I see both of us in the home and both of us are outside. And I just wanted to reflect that in my writing.
I love that. It's really important, as you say, for you to develop your own values, your relationship values and goals.
Yes.
Not to take other people's, but develop your own. And you did that. And I like that because you're looking at this poem and we're seeing who is Latoya, right? What her views are. And I love that you can cook, but you don't have to cook. It's like, what did you... I did this out of common courtesy. I had to tell somebody that once in my life, It's don't be getting on because I didn't do it. It was say thanks that when I did it, right? Don't be catching an attitude. You're not gonna get nothing after that, right? So I like that about this poem. We want to get into more of this book. You know which one I want? There is a sweet one in the back because we love our Calypso Rose up in here. We love soca. We love our culture. We support locals. Calypso Rose is one of Tobago's greats, one of Trinidad and Tobago. She's an international star and right here from Bethel Village. If you did not know, let me put this in your pipe and smoke it, people. Calypso Rose is from Bethel Village in Tobago, right? A woman who is pushing the boundaries, not just because she can, but because she must. She just has that fire in her. Latoya, this Calypso Rose poem, short and sweet.
Because it's an ode, so within the book have different types of poetry writing styles. So ode is usually a short poem, usually no more than 10 lines. It's usually 10 lines. It doesn't necessarily have a rhyming pattern. You can decide on your own rhyming pattern, but you want to keep it short, sweet, no more than 10 lines.
Yeah.
The first sentence is usually very short and the sentence progresses as you go along in the rhythm pattern of the poem.
Yeah. And just for you guys out there.
And it's to pay tribute to somebody, so it's a praise.
Yes.
Venerate the person for what they did.
Latoya, take it away, please.
Let's have a drink for this one.
That's right.
So the title of the poem is Ode to Calypso Rose. Oh Calypso Rose, give me more tempo. Oh Calypso Rose, the best performer in the show. Throughout history as the mother of Calypso, powerful on stage from the age 13, fighting for racism, sexism, and social change. Fallen petals of the rose, but beauty remains in your lyrics and prose. Fire in my wire, I thank thee. Leave me alone and Calypso Queen. The music legend, we give you much homage.
Fire in my
wire. So I just reflected on some of the songs that I remember growing up, the ones that were there.
That's one of the popular ones. Listen, you hear that every time for Carnival. I love it. Fire in my wire. I'm not going to start to sing, guys, please.
Neither me.
Don't clutch your
I'm not a singer, I'm a writer.
Exactly. Don't clutch your pearls. I'm a singer, I'm a vocalist, but don't clutch your pearls. We leave that for J-Soul, right? J-Soul is the singer in the bunch here. But I love that you chose Calypso Rose to just uplift her in this poem. Why did you pick her?
I grew up listening to different types of music, and I believe in always embracing your culture, your history. And for me, I think she was one of those artists that really stood out. And I know that she's going through a difficult period when I was writing this book. I know series of illness, etc. But I still think that we always need to praise those icons. And this segment of the book is Roots and Identity. So she definitely needs to find her space there in my book.
Give them their flowers while they're still here. Oh my gosh, I love it. Latoya, I looked at this cover as a bibliophile.
Yes.
As an author, we start from the front of your book. We pick it down till the back of the book. I wonder why they use these colors. Oh, this is pretty. This is how we approach books, right? Why? What is this? Is this a painting? Is this something you did? What is it?
So the cover of the book was designed in conversation with an artist, Maxi Navarro. And because the book is an anthology, it's basically an anthology of my life. When you read the book, you actually see my life journey as a person in all the different categories in the book. So
it's a memoir in poems.
Exactly so.
I love that.
So this kind of mirage represents life. Sometimes it's rough and it's bumpy, but then it has its smooth, there's a blending of color. And one thing to notice, the book, even though it's a collection of poems, a significant part of my book is that I did it in collaboration with the artist Stormly Roberts. And in each of the beginning of each segment actually has artistic pieces. So like the one under Woman in Society, this is actually like my understanding of me when I was younger and pregnant with my first daughter. So that goes there. Then in this segment also, there's a one that's called Struggle. This was a personal incident that happened in my life, and I reflected it through there, and the poem is called Silence. That complements it. But then when you continue moving along, under civil society movements, there's an artwork that deals with civil protest. So the book is poetry, but there's also art to complement the different thematic areas in the book that speaks to different poems. And all the art pieces was also inspiration by me discussing with the artist my emotions, the passions, the feelings that come out with the poems associated with the book. So not only do you get words in the book, but you also get to appreciate art that complements the pieces in the book.
I love that. And I always tell people, listen, adults love pictures too. We love graphics too. Why only leave the pictures for the little children? we love pictures too. So when I see books, right, that have art accompanying the words, I am super excited because it lends to one collaboration.
Yes.
Right? As well as it helps to give you that visual push in terms of what the author is thinking, right? Where the author's mind is. Because as you rightly said earlier, poetry has many interpretations.
Yes, it does.
It's some, I mean, writing as well, but poetry too, because you may write one thing thinking, okay, this is what I'm saying. And, you know, somebody else reads it, and that's not what I heard. I heard something else, right? And you're like, how, right? But it's so subjective that you can get so many things out of it. So I like that you use this as a cover to say, you know, this is a graphic representation and abstract of what life is.
Yes.
Sometimes it's smooth and it looks like anybody out there into textile design, right? I'm into textiles. So when I saw it, I say, oh, look, marbling.
Possibly so.
Yeah, this looks like when you're doing marbling on fabrics and you put,
it does, but it also represents the human organism. Like if you have a cell and it's under a microscope, and it's,
the mitochondria,
yes, and it's just merging. So it for me it represented that kind of life and that kind of merging. But it's also very abstract art also.
Yes, I really love this. I couldn't get enough of it, to be honest. Any colors here are your favorite colors? Because I'm seeing
I'm a bit of a pink person actually. Growing up, everybody knew that I always liked to wear pink. So I was like, there must be a bit of hint of pink and purple, but not too much pink. Yeah. Because I've grown out of that pink stage.
That. But, you know, colors represent different things, and pink represents the feminine most times, and blues represent the masculine. So I kind of like that in this, you gave space to both. So
Yes.
it kind of giving space to the feminine, space to the masculine, but yet still they're still merging in some areas. You see that aquamarine coming through, and I really like that. And there's some white. We're seeing some of the sinews and tissues.
Yes.
We're seeing a lot here. Book covers are so telling. So when you pick it up, authors, just remember, when people pick up your books in the bookstore, they are going to be looking at your book cover, because that's your first representation of the book, right? They're going to be looking at it and wonder,
what it means.
yeah, what's happening here? What is what I was thinking? Do I identify with them? So think, very carefully about your book cover. Give it a lot of thought. Just as much as you're putting into the words, put it into the book cover
And
as
I
well.
think when persons finish read the book, they go back to the cover and they can get their own interpretation of what it meant for
I
them.
love that. Listen, they're telling me I'm out of time, but I have to ask you. Because I'm looking two things. The back of the book, right, where you have your book blurb, and then you have something about yourself. So two things before we go quickly. Tell us about how important it was for you to write a book blurb that people who are reading the book or would want to pick up your book and read it, right? And what informed you when you were doing your back cover?
So for me, self-publishing is important if you're not going under a traditional publishing house, etc., where people automatically gravitate to that publishing house no matter what book they put out. I think your back cover really helps to give information about you as the author. It also gives a strong synopsis of your book. So I think your synopsis should be about 100 to 150 words. Very short. When people read this, they'll say, yes, I have to pick up the book and read more. So that is what the first paragraph is about. And then the second paragraph is about me as an author, because it was the first time I was self-publishing. Nobody in the world knows who Latoya Roberts is, but it was my opportunity to give my space and my voice as an author, so persons know who they're reading and what they intend to get from the book.
Well, we know who Latoya is.
Now we know.
No, we always knew. We always knew who Latoya is. A great author, an awesome person, smart like a whip. Let me tell you, you don't want me to start reading all the accolades she has, right? We will not leave here today. They'll turn off the lights and put us out. But when you're writing your book, you have to know that, your small community is not where your book is going to end up, right? It may start there, but you want to make sure that a person picking up your book can read about you. And what do you want to tell them about you, right? That's what you need to put in the back of the book. And many times, let me just put it out there, authors, many times I've had this conversation with you all. You all don't want to put yourself out there. It's a problem, right? You don't want to put anything in the back of the book. Nobody must. So how they will know about your greatness, right? How they will know about the awesomeness that you are bringing to the authorship and the publication space. You have to put something in the back there. So I love that you have a real cute little picture, right? And a book blurb and something about you. I really love that. But before we go, I just want to tell you guys, Latoya, tell them where they can get your book, how they can contact you, please.
Sure. So currently you can get my book on Amazon, and this is especially for my international audience because I have actually a wide international following that follow my book all the way to Asia, Middle East, etc. So they purchase online. But locally here in Tobago, you can get my book at my store, Lamb's Best Mart, or you can contact, I have a small book agency called Books by LR that I also work with other authors who want to self-publish. So you can go to the website and order the book there.
Very good. Give them a number they can call.
Definitely. You can call 732-7630. And I look forward to all the calls.
Awesome.
Great Christmas gift.
Yes.
Very light, very affordable.
Correct. And you can pair this if you want to give them multiple books, right? You can pair this with a number of books. We are having a giveaway. Before we go, we're having a giveaway today. And we're giving away 3 books. Latoya's book, A Collection of Poems, is going to be one of those books. They're also going to be that book that won the Bocas Children's Book Prize. And Nancy and the Fire Ants, that's one of the books we're giving away, plus the Tobago imprint. All you have to do is go to our Facebook page or Instagram. That's Book Club Corner TT, Facebook, Instagram. Make a comment, like us, share us with somebody. I'll see. And the first person to do it is getting all 3 books as a...
Wow, all 3?
All 3. I'm not separating it. You're getting all three, this book included, right? And the other two books are going to be our Tobago imprint book. This is by the Tobago Writers Guild. And the other book is going to be a Nancy and the Fire Ants. That book is coming in tomorrow with the author when he hits Tobago this evening. He's getting into Tobago. Garnet are selling out all your itinerary. Right, he's going to be back in Tobago because he's migrated to Barbados. But we're out of time, guys. We want to thank you for tuning in with us today. It's been a lovely season. It's been a lovely time with you. Thank you for being here with us, Latoya.
Thank you, Joelle, for doing this.
And cheers to you.
Compliments of the season.
Thank you. We cheers to you authors out there and all our readers. Thank you for staying with us. And until we're back with season 2 of Book Club Corner, get your books, get some wine, sit in a nice area, and do some reading. We'll see you soon.
It's a different type of thing down there. And we party till we drop down there. With a lot of pretty girls down there. Down in Tobago.
Tobago Glass Supplies has been a leading name for over 37 years in the glass and aluminum market in Tobago. We provide an extensive range of high-quality, innovative aluminum and glass products for commercial and residential use. Competitive prices with superior and professional services by committed employees who are guided by rigid quality standards. Tobago Glass Supplies specializes in the manufacture and installation of glass and aluminum products that are essential to today's homeowners and the business environment. We are engaged in marketing, sales, and installation of a variety of products. These ranges from windows and doors to necessities such as mirrors for homes and vehicles, designed and manufactured in-house or imported.
This Christmas, speed is on us. Get up to 300 megabits per second of speed with our new Link Up Plus plan. Enjoy more speed, more channels, and free streaming for less. Plus, introducing Link Up More with up to 1 gig download speed. Download, stream, video calls, share memes, and more. Get free installation when you sign up in-store or online today at discoverflow.co.
Everybody only worrying.
Never ever worry, don't mind how things looking hard. I tell them never ever worry, if your nice car get damaged bad. I tell them never ever worry, what I'm saying is true. So just consider, Tatil is always right here for you. I tell them never ever worry, don't mind if life make you sad. I tell them never ever worry, if your house get flooded out real bad. I tell them never ever worry, what I'm saying is true. So just consider, Tatil will always be here for you.
Never worry about a thing. Tatil, where people are people. You know what I mean.
joining us. Thank you for being a part of Brunch, a Taste of Tobago. Of course, special thanks to Miss Jewel Green George. Thank you so much for being a part of Brunch or Book Club Corner. Latoya Roberts, blessings to you, the author of the author and communications consultant. Latoya Roberts, thank you so much with your collection of wonderful and beautiful poems. You have managed to encapsulate history and resonance and everything that makes us truly Trinbagonian, and we thank you for your foresight. Of course, we get to talk to so many people, so many spheres, so many conversations, so many ways of life, and my next guest is no different. I welcome Mr. Sean McCoon. Thank you so much for being here. And Sean is the director of the Tobago Reforestation and Watershed Rehabilitation Program. I had to make sure I got it just right. You know how it is, right? So Sean, thank you so much for being a part of Brunch, A Taste of Tobago. How are you doing?
Morning, it's a pleasure to be here. And just one comment rather. So I am one of the directors of the Tobago Reforestation and Watershed Rehabilitation Program. We have a board of directors.
Right.
I am just one of them.
Oh, just a part of the
A part of
entity.
a great
yes.
and very, very dynamic team. All right. And first of all, before we dive in, I just wanted to say a hearty good morning to everyone tuned in, and just to express my gratitude to my team and my board of directors. A really, really dynamic bunch, and to our general manager, Miss Kelly Manette, who has done an immensely really, really good job. Wonderful. She has done a great job thus far, and she has been with us for some time, a short while now. And our chairman, Mr. Didan Daniel, our deputy chairman, Miss Tamika Seals Manzano. So all making up a really dynamic team, and our staff members as well.
And you called some really wonderful names, because I happen to know quite a few of the names that you just mentioned. And they really are dynamic, innovative people. And I remember one event that I went to, and Mr. Mika Seals Manzano was the first person who was very accommodating, very nice. And I would never forget that day. I went to an event at the Dwight York Stadium, and I was in the one of the agricultural booths.
Yes.
And everybody was just buzzing about and doing the most. And she was one of the first person that came and said, "Hi, how are you? How are we helping you today?" And these are the things that stand out. So I just wanted to say that you definitely have a wonderful team, because some of the names that you mentioned, I know for a fact that they are very dynamic people. So
yes,
blessings to the wonderful team. And you have a wonderful ambassador here. You have a wonderful representative here, because he took the time to mention you and make us aware that it's not just a one-man show. And that's a wonderful attribute to have. So Sean, welcome again to you. Tell us what is going on. The Botanical Gardens is abuzz with the lights, and we're doing the most. Tell us about what's happening.
Right. So before we jump into that, the Tobago Reforestation and Watershed Rehabilitation Program is more or less your go-to for green space development, conservation, preservation, and even monetizing those said green spaces that we have in and around the island. All right, we have the Botanic Gardens, where our headquarters, I am proud to say that the reforestation headquarters is now at the Botanic Station at the Botanic Gardens. We are headquartered there, and we thought school is out, families are together, we have children on vacation, they're looking for activities and so on to do. So why not utilize the Botanic Gardens, since it's a nice open air sort of atmosphere, a green space where people can come in. Now the lights on the trees and so on, that was one aspect of it that came as an idea that the board of directors and some of the staff members had, right? And even some personnel from the division mentioned, well, traditionally speaking, the Botanic Gardens would have lights, but we saw it best to scale up and really have a host of activities for people to enjoy the Christmas season, to enjoy the togetherness and the warmth of this Yuletide season with their families, their friends, even some of our lovely, wise seniors or senior citizens. You see them coming out with their family. They would bring granny and grandpa and so on, and they are strolling in the park. It's really a lovely atmosphere, and some of the activities such as pan and parang, we've had movie nights, we've had things such as dancing, we've had Mr. Ricardo Seals, one of our very own well-known talented musicians, saxophonist Ricardo Seals.
Indeed.
Graced us on 2 occasions. He was there last night and he was there last week as well. We had TPAC, right? Tobago Performing Arts Company coming to do folk tales, and they did some skits and so on. So a really, really packed, well-rounded lineup, and I must say that the turnout was really, really impressive. So I want to just say hats off to you, Tobago. Hats off to you, the public. And have you been? Have you been?
No, I have not. And I'm going to keep it so real with you, in fact, because I had this conversation yesterday, and we were having a family conversation, and we were like, hello,
right,
the Botanic
what
Garden.
Is the kickback?
What is going on?
Yes.
So we definitely need to get there and really see what's happening. But I'm seeing here we have on the 21st, the Hark the Choir Sings and karaoke.
Yes, that's right.
Yep.
So that remains. There's just one change to that. We're actually having the movie night. We're having another movie night on Friday.
Okay.
All right. So the movie night will happen on Friday, and we just got word that it's happening again. So by popular demand,
it's back.
The
by
movie night
demand.
is back by popular demand, and we've had a wonderful showing with a wide cross section of people. As I said before, children came with their families. Seniors, you find couples. You know, it's really, really a nice experience to look at a movie on your blanket with your chairs. You have the night market, so you can purchase your food and your beverages and so on. And it's a wonderful time to be in the Botanic Garden. So we have the movie night, and then we have the treasure hunt. And all of the activities, we'll bring the curtain down on the 23rd, as is seen on the schedule. And just one more thing. While the Botanic Gardens Christmas Glitz, in terms of the outdoor activities, will close on the 23rd, the lights remain on until the 6th of January.
Right. Oh.
Yes.
Ooh.
So the lights will not be put out.
I love that.
The lights will remain on until the turn of the new year, and a few days after, about a week, give or take a day or two.
I'm thinking prizes, because that's what's passing across in my mind's eye. Prizes. Because Rayan Duncan was here, one of your colleagues.
Yes.
Very wonderful.
Yes. Very lovely staff member. All of our staff have really put their shoulders to the wheel and been part and parcel of the construct of this whole thing. And I just want to say once more, thank you to our committed, dedicated staff for making this happen. We would not be here without you. The Botanic Gardens Christmas Glitz would not have happened without them.
Yeah, definitely. And you know, the karaoke stands out to me because, like I said, Rian was here a couple weeks ago, and she was like, I feel you would fit in the karaoke, you know, you must come down,
Absolutely.
And it's there. And I'm thinking it would be so much fun. I definitely have to make my way down and really be a part of this wonderful event. Oh my gosh.
Yes, and we are really, really looking at the impact and the positive outcome and how well attended this event was. So we're looking at making it an annual occurrence.
Definitely.
That's definitely something we're exploring.
So you guys need to head on down to the Botanical Gardens Christmas Glitz. It's a wonderful place to be. Get in, get involved, bring your families, make it that kind of unforgettable experience. And Christmas is that time. It's filled with such joy in our emotions. Even the way we shop is with emotion. And then January come and we don't have no money, but still the emotion of the Christmas season is something that is so vibrant, it's so powerful, and it's so strong. And why not?
Yeah.
Why
I mean,
not?
it's really something that I believe people can begin looking forward to. So once everything, all things being equal,
Yeah.
next year, God's willing, we will continue this, and who knows, maybe we would add some even more interesting items and activities and so on. And I just wanted to mention also our sponsors. We had some lovely sponsors, corporate sponsors that came on board quite willingly to give us assistance in rolling this out. RBC Bank, Amplia, TSTT, Almando's Hardware. So we've had some indigenous hardwares and so on, some indigenous businesses giving support, so hats off to the private sector as well. And all in all, this is a representation of what intersectoral buy-in can look like, with the whole society getting behind something. This has been a big collaborative effort, not just for reforestation, but for the Division of Natural Resources, Environment, Food Security, Sustainable Development, and also the Department of Forestry. So all of these major players came together to make this a success, and it's a working example of what we can achieve together, what we can achieve when we all come together for a common goal and a common purpose, and also TADCO.
Definitely.
We want to thank TADCO as well.
Doing the most.
TADCO is like our big brother, big
Yes.
sister company, if you want to call it that. We are definitely doing our thing as reforestation, and you see the effects of it. So we just want to thank everybody for making this possible and for coming together and seeing and sharing in this vision with us.
I love the way that you are very inclusive, and I have to speak on it because it speaks so much to your character. And the human aspect, we tend to lose some of that very slowly, but it's happening, where we don't have that respect for one another, we don't have that kindness to one another. And I absolutely have to speak on it because from the time you sat in the chair, you made it clear that I can't do this by myself. There's a team. I'm just part of a wonderful network of people who come together. And so I just want to thank you so much for being a part of Brunch today. Remember, guys, make your way down to the Botanical Gardens. Let's get into the Christmas glitz. Let's bring our families out. The Botanical Gardens Christmas glitz. Get down into it. Let's have that enjoy. 6 to 10 p.m. until the 23rd of December. You can't go wrong.
Oh, and by the way, you can visit our website, that's tobagoreforestation.org, or you can follow us on Facebook. Just type Tobago Reforestation, or you can type TRWRP, and it comes up. You can follow our Facebook page. We're always updating the calendar. We have stories and snaps for you to see and enjoy what it is, even if you can't be there and you're overseas and so on, because I know we have some subscribers and viewers overseas. You can tune in and you can see what it is we've been doing. And also, as Christmas, the turn of the year, you can see all the other activities that Tobago Reforestation will be getting up to.
Definitely. And we thank you so much, Sean. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having me.
Blessings to you and success as well in whatever you endeavor to do. That is from our family to yours.
Thank you so much.
So that is it for Brunch, a taste of Tobago. We want to thank our lovely guests who sat on the brunch set with me today. That conversation was amazing. And I just want to say blessings to each and every one. But before we go, our trivia question for today: what is the name of the islands off the northeast tip of Tobago? The answer is the St. Giles Islands. These tiny islands of the northern coast of Tobago are an important breeding area for several bird species, including sightings of the frigate bird, red-footed booby, and noddy tern. It also offers brilliant underwater scenery for divers. As always, it has been a pleasure being in your space today. Look out for our next episode of Brunch on Friday. Don't be a stranger. Get into it. We bring it to you live and in living color. From our family to yours, we wish you blessings, peace, love, and light. See you next time on Brunch, a Taste of Tobago. Bye, guys.